The night was heavy with silence, broken only by the hum of a weary mind. A woman sat at her kitchen table, bills spread like storm clouds across the wood. Her hands trembled as she added figures, erased them, then added again, chasing a number that would not appear. She had worked 10 hours that day, 10 hours bent beneath fluorescent lights, serving others smiling, though her spirit ached. She thought of her father, who had worked just as hard and left this world with little more than aching bones. She thought of her mother, who had whispered, "Work hard, and someday it will all come together," but that someday had never come. Her heart was heavy with the ancient belief of the world that money is earned by toil, that rest is a luxury for the wealthy, that joy must wait until after the labor. And yet within her chest flickered a question she dared not speak aloud. Is this truly the law of life? Must I always chase and never arrive? Pause. Let us breathe here, for in her story, perhaps you see yourself or someone you love. Long hours, endless effort, and yet money, slippery, elusive, always seems one step ahead. The world has trained us to believe that money is a master and we its servants. But what if this story is upside down? Listen closely. There is another law, an ancient law forgotten by many, yet etched into the fabric of spirit, the law of dominion. This law declares money is not earned, money is commanded. Think of it, your word is your wand. What you speak with authority shapes your world. You are not meant to bow before money like a slave before its master. No, money was created as servant to spirit, and spirit has placed within you the authority of decree. Imagine money as a loyal attendant waiting at your door. It does not run, it does not resist. It waits only for your clear command. But most of us have never spoken as masters. We whisper as beggars, plead as paupers, mutter as doubters. And so money waits in silence, unbidden. The woman at the table does not yet know this truth. She thinks she must toil harder, sacrifice more, chase longer. But even as she rubs her weary eyes, the hidden key is at her side. The key is not in her weary hands, it is in her word. This is the turning point, the first glimmer of revelation that money, like light, obeys the command of spirit. Just as God said, "Let there be light," and light burst forth, so too can you speak and watch substance take form. But how, you ask? How can this be? Because spirit created the world by word. The very breath of creation carried decree, and you made in that image carry the same power. Your word is law to the invisible supply that surrounds you. You may say, "But I have spoken before, and nothing happened." And I reply, you did not speak as a king. You whispered as a beggar. For the law of dominion responds not to muttering, but to command. Not to hope, but to certainty. Think of the sun. It does not plead to shine. It does not ask permission to rise. It simply declares its light, and the world obeys. You too were born to shine forth your decree, and money, this servant of spirit, was born to obey. Let us pause here in compassion. For perhaps your heart is weary from years of toil, years of believing the old story. Rest in this thought. It was never your labor that made you worthy. It is your word that makes you wealthy. And now, the quick uplift. But there's another way. The way of dominion. The way of decree. The way of word. From this moment, let us begin to speak anew. Let us declare with boldness, I am the commander of wealth. Money is my servant, not my master. My word opens the gates of abundance, and supply flows to me with ease. Repeat it softly now, then more firmly than as a decree. My word is my wand. I command, and wealth obeys. And as you breathe, let the weary chains of toil slip from your shoulders. Let the shadows of struggle melt away. Stand tall in the truth of your divine authority, for the forgotten law of dominion has found you again, and with it, your life is about to turn. If this message is awakening something within you, subscribe to stay updated with new relaxing videos and support this channel so we can continue creating peaceful content to help you rest and recharge. The world has taught us to see money as paper, as coins, as digits on a glowing screen. We touch it, we count it, we measure it, and we sigh at its lack. Yet this vision is too small, too brittle, too bound to dust. For money is not mere paper, it is spiritual substance. It is not a cold number, but a living flow, a river moving from the invisible into the visible. Spirit is the great reservoir, infinite and inexhaustible. From this invisible storehouse, all forms are born: the bread you eat, the roof above you, the clothes upon your back, the air that fills your lungs. Money, too, is drawn from this storehouse. What you see in your purse is only the shadow of the real. The essence is divine. Let us remember the manna that fell in the desert. The people cried out in hunger, and heaven answered, not with toil, not with endless fields to plow, but with substance appearing at their feet. Bread of heaven, they called it. And when Christ fed the multitude with 5 loaves and 2 fishes, what was it but the same law, substance multiplying at the decree of Spirit? Now hear this, the same law moves for you. You are not separate from the miracles of old. The very breath you speak carries the authority of decree. When you say, I no longer chase money, money comes when I speak, you are aligning with the eternal law that governs supply. Pause. Let that sink in. For years, perhaps, you have chased money as though it were a fleeing animal, always ahead, always escaping. But what if money is not running from you at all? What if it is waiting like a faithful servant, ears bent toward your word, ready to rush forward at your command? See it now in your mind's eye. You stand upon a great threshold. Before you stretches an endless river of golden substance, shimmering, flowing, unceasing. This is divine supply. It is not owned by any bank. It is not confined to any vault. It is Spirit's abundance. When you speak, the river responds. When you decree, the current bends toward you. Say it with me now: I do not chase money. I command, and money obeys. I do not toil for supply. Supply answers to my voice. I do not beg. I decree, and it is so. These words are not wishful thinking. They are law in motion. Your decree is the hand that opens the channel between the invisible and the visible. And money, this divine substance, must obey. Think of the door that once seemed locked. You knocked, and no one answered. But then you spoke the word, and instantly the hinges turned. The door swung wide. Behind it, abundance stood waiting, smiling, saying, At last you have remembered who you are. Repetition builds power. As Florence Scovel Shinn herself declared, your word is your wand. Not once, not timidly, but boldly, daily, consistently. Speak the decree until the air itself vibrates with obedience. Imagine standing in a quiet room. You whisper, money comes when I speak. The words fall flat, faint, hardly heard. You try again, louder, money comes when I speak. The sound grows stronger. Then, with full breath, with lifted head, with authority, money comes when I speak. Suddenly, the walls themselves seem to listen. The atmosphere changes. The substance stirs. This is the rhythm of Spirit decree, believe, receive. Not toil, wait, and hope. Not chase, strain, and sigh. But decree, believe, receive. Let us pause in silence now. Let the affirmations settle into your heart like seed into fertile soil. Say it inwardly. Money comes when I speak, and then rest. For the seed does not need your struggle to grow, it needs only your faith. Perhaps you ask, but will it come through people, through work, through gifts? Yes, yes, and yes. Spirit has 1,000 channels, 1,000 doors, 1,000 instruments. Your decree does not dictate the path it releases the substance. It is not your role to calculate how. It is your role to declare that it is so. When the manna fell, no one asked how. When the loaves multiplied, no one questioned the method. They simply received. So it is with you. Your decree sets the law in motion and the channels open as needed. Now imagine this. You speak the word and a door swings open that you had not noticed before. A phone call comes. An opportunity appears. A forgotten check arrives in the mail. The form may vary, but the source is the same spirit moving through substance in response to your word. Affirm again, I no longer chase money. Money comes when I speak. Let it echo in you like a bell. Let it sink deeper with each repetition. Let it replace the old story of toil, the weary tale of struggle. For you are not a servant of money. Money is servant to spirit, and you made in the image of spirit carry the authority of command. So stand tall, beloved soul. Lift your voice. Speak with clarity, with certainty, with dominion. The substance is waiting. The river is flowing. The decree is yours to make. The story has been told for generations. Work hard, and someday you'll make it. A phrase whispered by parents to children, a creed etched into the bones of nations. It has become so common, so unquestioned, that few ever pause to ask who wrote this contract of struggle. Picture a man bent over the fields in the early dawn, hands, cracked sweat dripping, laboring for a wage that barely feeds his family. His son grows up watching this endless toil, and the boy is told, study hard, work harder than I did, and maybe you'll escape. The son grows, becomes a man, works even longer hours, yet the weight of bills and debt still clings to him. He tells his own child, work hard, and someday it will all be better. The child nods, believing, and so the story continues, each generation handing down the same weary contract, signed with sweat and sealed with hope deferred. This is the old paradigm of struggle, a paradigm that whispers, wealth is far from you. You must chase it. You must deserve it. And if you are lucky, someday you will catch it. But let us look closer. What is this someday but a mirage, always ahead, never arriving? Struggle becomes the inheritance, and delay becomes the law. This is not divine truth. It is a lie dressed in the garments of tradition. The old paradigm is like digging for water with a spoon. Imagine the futility, day after day, scraping at the earth, sweat on your brow, hope in your heart that maybe one day a drop of water will appear. And yet a faucet stands only a few feet away, ready to pour forth, if only you would turn it. But the old paradigm has taught you to trust the spoon, not the faucet. To trust toil, not decree. And so generations lived thirsty, unaware that abundance was already at hand. Now hear this revelation. Struggle is not sacred. Delay is not holy. Hardship is not your destiny. You are not born to scrape the earth with a spoon. You were born to open the faucet of spirit with your word. Pause here. Let compassion flow for all the ancestors, all the families who believed the lie of struggle. They did not know the law. They were not taught the truth of decree. They gave what they had, the creed of toil, because it was the only story they knew. And yet within you rises a new story, a higher law, a greater inheritance. Say it now, I cancel the contract of struggle. I refuse the inheritance of delay. I choose the law of decree. Speak it again with more power. I cancel struggle. I cancel delay. I command abundance now. The old paradigm was built on the belief that wealth is scarce, that you must compete for it, that you must exhaust yourself to deserve it. But divine law says abundance is infinite. You need not chase what is already yours. Imagine yourself standing with generations behind you, all carrying heavy stones of toil. They are weary, stooped, burdened by the belief that suffering is the only path. But now you turn. You lift your voice. You decree no more. I cancel the struggle. And as you speak, the stones fall. The burden breaks. A new path opens before you, wide, luminous, flowing with ease. This is not rebellion against your ancestors. This is completion. You honor them by breaking the chain that bound them, by stepping into the freedom they longed for but never found. You are the one who ends the contract of delay and steps into the covenant of abundance. And so we shift from spoon to faucet, from scraping earth to turning the handle, from laboring in sweat to speaking with decree, from the old paradigm of struggle to the new law of dominion. Declare it with me once more, for repetition seals the truth into the heart. I cancel struggle. I cancel delay. I command abundance now. And as you speak, feel the power of the decree ripple outward, breaking chains, not only for you, but for all who come after you. The faucet is open. The water flows. The old paradigm is finished. If you're ready to cancel struggle, type, I cancel delay below. Your voice is not mere sound. It is law in motion. It is the vibration of spirit moving through you, carrying decree into the unseen substance of the universe. With every tone, every breath, every syllable, you are shaping reality. Think of a king upon his throne. Does he beg his servants to obey? Does he whisper timidly and hope they might hear? No. A king declares. His voice carries certainty, authority, finality. His decree is not questioned, for it is law. So it is with you. You were never meant to beg life for scraps. You were meant to stand as sovereign, to declare with the authority of spirit. So it is. So it must be. Let us begin gently with compassion. Many of us were trained to use our voices in weakness. We learned to plead, please let it happen. Please give me just enough. We learned to whisper, maybe someday if it is possible, and spirit, hearing these faint vibrations, simply waits. For spirit responds not to uncertainty, but to dominion. Pause here. Let us breathe. Let us remember the times we begged for what we already possessed by divine right. Let us feel the sorrow of speaking as paupers when all along we were kings and queens. And now let us rise. Say this softly, I am wealthy. Now say it with more strength, I am wealthy. Now declare it with full voice, with spine straight, with breath from the belly, I am wealthy. Do you feel the shift? The air itself responds. The room changes. Something unseen bends to your command. This is the authority of your voice. Your word is not mere vibration of air. It is vibration of spirit. It carries the signature of your soul. It carries the force of creation. When spoken with authority, it does not ask. It does not question. It commands. Consider the whisper versus the bold command. Whisper now, if you will. Money comes to me. It feels uncertain, fragile, unsure. Now lift your chin, straighten your back, breathe deep, and declare, money comes to me now. The difference is not only in the volume, but in the authority. One asks, the other commands. Spirit does not require loudness, it requires certainty. You could speak in a calm, measured tone, yet if authority rests in it, the law moves. Authority is not about shouting, it is about knowing. It is the posture of the soul that says, this is already so. Think of a mother calling her child. If she pleads timidly, the child may not come. But when she calls with certainty, with that unmistakable tone of authority, the child obeys without question. So it is with money, with supply, with the unseen substance. Your decree must carry the authority of recognition that you are not separate from abundance, but one with it. Now, imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast field. Before you, hidden beneath the soil, lie countless seeds of abundance, houses, opportunities, relationships, wealth in all its forms. These seeds are dormant, waiting for the vibration of command. Your voice is the rain, the thunder, the sound that awakens them. When you decree rise, they sprout. When you decree come forth, they blossom. Without your voice, they wait. With your voice, they obey. Let us practice together. I command money to appear in perfect ways. I decree supply flows to me now. My voice carries authority and wealth obeys. Speak them slowly, then firmly, then with the finality of a royal decree. Pause after each one. Feel the silence afterward, the charged stillness of the unseen world listening. For when you decree, the atmosphere changes. Your voice also carries posture. Speak as a beggar, and your shoulders slump, your breath falters. Speak as a king, and your body aligns with the word. Straighten, breathe, claim space. This is not vanity, it is embodiment. The voice follows the body, and the body follows the voice. Say it again with posture. I do not beg. I decree. I do not plead. I command. My voice is law, and abundance answers. Do you feel the shift? You are stepping into your rightful stance. You are remembering what was forgotten, that your voice is the gatekeeper of wealth. Think of Christ before the storm. He did not beg the winds to calm. He did not plead with the waves. He stood, lifted his voice, and declared, "Peace, be still," and the storm obeyed. Such is the authority of the divine voice, and that same authority lives in you. Practice it with silence between each decree. Peace, be still. Money come forth, supply flow now. Each word carries vibration, and vibration shapes form. Speak as one who knows. Speak as one who commands. Speak as one who remembers. Say it 3 times each with greater certainty. My voice is not mere sound, it is law in motion. My voice is not mere sound, it is law in motion. My voice is not mere sound, it is law in motion. And so it is. You stand upon the threshold of abundance, voice lifted, decree spoken, and yet nothing moves. The air feels heavy. The river of supply seems frozen. You wonder, why does my word not bring the fruit I command? Beloved soul, the saboteurs are near. They are not greater than you, but they are cunning. Fear, doubt, and delay. Fear whispers in the night. What if I cannot handle wealth? What if more money brings more burden? What if others envy me, leave me, judge me? Doubt murmurs. Did my decree really work? Perhaps nothing happened at all. Perhaps this is only imagination, and delay cloaks itself in pious robes, sighing someday. Not now, later, in the future, when the time is right. These voices are not truth. They are shadows cast by the old paradigm. They are echoes of a world that believed money was scarce, that abundance must be earned with pain, that joy must always wait. And yet if you listen to them, they veto your decree. Spirit does not resist you, your own fear, doubt, and delay do. Pause. Let us look at this with tenderness, for every soul has felt these whispers. Even as you decree, a small tremor of fear may rise. Even as you affirm, a doubt may sneak in. Even as you command, the habit of someday may slip from your lips. This is not failure. It is simply a shadow, and shadows dissolve when the light shines. Let us tell a story. A man stood one evening in his living room, declaring with bold voice, "I am rich in spirit. Money flows to me now." He felt powerful in the moment, but deep within, a quiet fear stirred. He thought of his relatives who had always said, "Money changes people. Too much wealth corrupts." Subconsciously, he feared losing love if he gained abundance. So even as he decreed, his hidden fear whispered, "Better not, better wait, better stay small." And so his decree was canceled, not by spirit, but by his own divided word. Do you see fear acts as a hidden veto, striking down your decree before it takes root? But fear is only smoke. When you shine the light of decree, it vanishes. Imagine fear as a shadow standing in your path. It looms large, but when you lift a lantern, the shadow dissolves into nothing. Fear is not substance, it is illusion. Doubt is the same. Delay, too, is only the habit of postponement, the fog of later. None of these are law. None of these are truth. They are smoke and shadow. Say this now gently. Fear is a shadow. It has no power. Say it again, firmer. Doubt is smoke. It vanishes in my decree. And once more with authority, delay is canceled. Abundance answers me now. Yes, feel the freedom in those words. For you are not at the mercy of shadows. You are the bearer of light. And light dissolves shadow every time. Let us return to Florence Scovel Shinn, who declared, "Fear is man's only enemy. It is faith inverted." Fear is not an external force. It is simply faith, misused faith in the wrong direction. To fear lack is to have faith in scarcity. To doubt your decree is to have faith in failure. To delay is to have faith in not yet. But you can turn that faith around. Redirect it. Place it in spirit. Place it in your decree. Let us practice cleansing affirmations now. Speak them slowly, as if washing your soul in sunlight. I cleanse my mind of fear. I am safe in abundance. I release doubt. My word is law and spirit confirms it. I erase delay. Wealth flows to me now in perfect time and perfect ways. Pause after each one. Let silence seal the affirmation into your heart. Now visualize this. You are holding a torch of golden flame. Before you lies a thick fog, fear, doubt, delay. You step forward and the torch dissolves the fog instantly. With each decree, the path grows clear. With each affirmation, the air becomes lighter. You walk boldly now, no longer hindered, no longer waiting. Say it with me. Fear is only smoke, I shine it away. Doubt is only shadow, I command light. Delay is a lie, I decree now. Yes, the saboteurs have no more hold. You are free. And remember this truth. The saboteurs may try to return, for habit is persistent. But each time they appear, you need only lift your voice again. Declare the word, shine the light, and they vanish. Every decree strengthens your authority. Every affirmation builds your dominion. So rest easy, beloved soul. Fear cannot bind you. Doubt cannot silence you. Delay cannot hold you. For you are the sovereign voice of spirit, and your decree is stronger than all shadows. Let's do a final affirmation 3 times. I shine away fear. I dissolve doubt. I cancel delay. My decree is now. I shine away fear. I dissolve doubt. I cancel delay. My decree is now. I shine away fear. I dissolve doubt. I cancel delay. My decree is now. And so it is. You have spoken the decree. You have broken the chains of struggle. You have silenced fear, dissolved doubt, canceled delay. And now you stand before the greatest threshold of all, the remembrance of who you truly are. For wealth does not flow merely because you demand it. It flows because of your divine identity as its rightful gatekeeper. Pause and breathe. Feel this truth stir within you. You are not a beggar at the gates of heaven, hoping for a coin to be tossed your way. You are the gatekeeper of heaven's vault. You hold the key. The treasury of spirit is not locked against you. It is waiting for you to turn the key to open the door to let supply flow through. Say this softly: I am the gatekeeper of wealth. Again, with more certainty: I am the gatekeeper of wealth. Now, as a decree, I am the gatekeeper of wealth. Yes, feel the shift. No longer outside looking in. No longer begging at the threshold. You are the one who stands at the gate, opening, closing, commanding, allowing. Money is not outside you. It flows through you. Supply does not arrive by accident. It arrives by your authority. Let us paint this picture. Imagine a great golden vault, its doors towering high, carved with radiant symbols. For years, you believed it was locked, guarded, unreachable. You prayed at its steps, hoping heaven might one day open it. But now you realize the key has always hung upon your chest. It was never withheld. It was only forgotten. You take the key in your hand. It glows with divine light, warm, alive. You place it into the lock. You turn it, and the door swings wide without resistance. Inside, rivers of abundance pour forth golden light treasures, opportunities, overflowing supply. You do not stand in awe as a stranger. You stand in recognition. This is my inheritance. This is my birthright. I am the gatekeeper of this vault. Affirm it. I open the vault of heaven, and wealth flows through me. I am not separate from abundance. I am its keeper. I hold the key, and I open the door. Repetition seals the truth. Speak until your cells remember. Speak until your bones know. Speak until the atmosphere bends in agreement. You see, identity is everything. A beggar and a king may both speak words, but the authority differs. When you speak as a beggar, your decree falters. When you speak as a king, the law moves instantly. And now you speak as more than a king. You speak as gatekeeper of Spirit's vault, chosen to release abundance into the world. This is why you do not hoard wealth. A gatekeeper does not cling to treasures in fear, they allow flow. The vault is infinite. The river cannot run dry. As you open the gate, abundance flows not only to you, but through you, blessing others, enriching lives, multiplying good. Say this now: I am the opener of gates. I am the channel of flow. I am the keeper of wealth, and I release it with ease. The old identity falls away here. You are no longer the struggler, the chaser, the one left out. You are no longer the one whispering someday. That mask has dissolved. The true self rises, the divine gatekeeper, the sovereign opener, the one who commands with love and authority. Pause. Feel the empowerment. Feel the dignity. Feel the hope surging anew. You are not powerless. You are not small. You are not forgotten. You are the one Spirit entrusted with the key. You are the one who says, "Let it flow," and it flows. I am the gatekeeper of wealth. I hold the key, and I open the door. I am the gatekeeper of wealth. I hold the key, and I open the door. I am the gatekeeper of wealth. I hold the key, and I open the door. Now breathe. Rest in the silence. The gate is open. The river flows. The vault of heaven is yours. Beloved soul, let us begin this sacred section with a truth so profound yet so simple that once grasped, it shall forever transform your experience of wealth supply and manifestation. Every word spoken is a seed sown. Every decree, whether whispered in uncertainty or declared in bold faith, moves into the invisible soil of the subconscious mind. But here is the mystery: it is not the spoken decree alone that births your demonstration. No, the spoken word must be confirmed by the hidden witness within. Imagine a court of law. The judge does not render a verdict on the basis of one testimony alone. There must be agreement, two witnesses standing together, affirming the same truth. If one witness says yes, this event occurred, and the other contradicts with no, it did not, the case collapses into uncertainty. No verdict may be passed. So it is with the law of manifestation. Your external voice may decree, "I am rich in God's supply. Money flows to me with ease and abundance." But if the inner witness, the subconscious, shakes its head and whispers, "No, this cannot be true. I am still broke. I am still unworthy," then there is no agreement. The law cannot move. The case is dismissed. Pause here, dear listener, and let this sink in. The spoken word is powerful. It is the sword, the creative spark, the vibration that calls the invisible into form. Yet the subconscious is the soil. No matter how beautiful the seed, if the soil resists, the seed cannot root. Therefore, manifestation demands alignment between the decree of the lips and the agreement of the heart. Let us consider a story. A woman once came to me decreeing daily that she was prosperous. "I am wealthy," she affirmed. "I am blessed with abundance." Yet month after month her debts grew larger and her anxiety deepened. Finally, in prayer, she admitted the truth. "While I speak prosperity in secret, I think, this is not for me. Others may prosper, but not I." Do you see? Her lips spoke one witness, but her heart spoke another. The court of the Spirit could not rule in her favor. It was not her words that failed, but her inner agreement that contradicted the decree. The law is precise. By the word of 2 or 3 witnesses shall every word be established. The lips must decree and the heart must agree. When they join hands in unity, creation rushes forth. Now, how do we align the inner and the outer? How do we train the heart to agree with the lips? It begins with repetition, not as vain babbling, but as holy instruction. Each decree is a hammer gently knocking at the door of the subconscious. Each repetition impresses the truth deeper into the hidden mind, until one day the inner witness lifts its head and says, "Yes, I believe this. Yes, this is true." This is why affirmations sometimes feel slow at first. The lips speak, but the soil resists. Yet the faithful gardener does not curse the soil. She waters, she tends, she plants again and again. And at last, the harvest comes forth. Hear this: you need not fight the subconscious. You need not argue with it. You need only instruct it with love, persistence, and unwavering decree. Let us affirm together: I decree abundance, and my heart agrees. I speak prosperity, and my soul bears witness. My words and my belief walk in perfect unity. Therefore, wealth flows to me now. Pause. Breathe deeply. Allow your inner witness to nod in agreement. You may ask, but what if doubt arises again? Then speak again. Do not wrestle with the shadow. Light it with the lamp of truth. Say gently to yourself, I understand you once believed in lack, but now I give you a new belief. Together, we rise in prosperity. In this way, you become both lawyer and judge, both gardener and soil. You train your heart to echo your lips, and soon the testimony is unified. The decree is established. The verdict is rendered in your favor. Now imagine you are in the divine courtroom. You stand boldly and declare, I am one with the infinite supply of the universe. I am prosperous. I am free. The inner witness rises beside you and says, yes, I agree. The gavel falls. The verdict is sealed. And instantly the law of demonstration begins its work. Beloved, this is the law of divine agreement. Nothing can stand against it. No outer condition, no past memory, no voice of fear. When lips and heart agree, creation obeys. Speak them aloud if you can, and feel them root within. My decree is true, and my heart agrees. There is no division within me. I am one with wealth. I plant the seed of prosperity in fertile soil, and it bears fruit. The inner witness rises and says yes to my abundance. With every word I speak, heaven and earth agree. And so it is. Beloved soul, let us now turn our gaze to a matter that weighs heavily upon many hearts: the culture of hustle, the glorification of endless striving, and the belief that only through sweat, stress, and sacrifice can one attain success. The world has taught you that if you do not run fast enough, if you do not grind long enough, if you do not push yourself harder than the rest, you shall be left behind. And so many live as if chasing a mirage, always running, never arriving, always tired, yet never satisfied. But divine law whispers another truth. Wealth is not the reward of strain, but the natural fruit of alignment. Prosperity is not born of frantic hustle, but of harmony with the rhythm of life. Let me paint this image for you. Imagine a swimmer in a mighty river. One swims against the current, arms thrashing, lungs burning, body resisting the natural flow. The harder they fight, the more exhausted they become, until at last they surrender in despair. Another swimmer, however, turns to face downstream, relaxes into the water, and allows the current to carry them. With far less effort, they glide swiftly toward their destination. Do you see? Hustle is resistance against the current. Harmony is surrender to the flow. There was once a man, an entrepreneur, who came to me weary and broken. He had built a business with sheer willpower, rising before dawn, sleeping past midnight, forever chasing the next client, the next deal, the next milestone. Outwardly, he seemed successful, yet inwardly, he was collapsing. His health, failing his marriage, strained his spirit dim. I asked him, what if the very energy you fight against could be the energy that carries you? He laughed bitterly. That is weakness. If I stop grinding, everything will fall apart. But in his exhaustion, he had no choice. He agreed to try another way. Instead of forcing, he began to flow. Each morning, rather than rushing into emails and calls, he spent time in silence, aligning with spirit. He spoke his decrees. Divine order governs my business. The right clients find me. Money flows with ease. He chose to trust rhythm instead of force. Within 6 months, something miraculous unfolded. He attracted fewer clients, yet those clients paid him more. He worked fewer hours, yet his income doubled. His marriage healed, his laughter returned, and his life breathed again. This, beloved, is the principle of harmony. Now you may wonder, but is not hard work honorable? Should we not give our best effort? Indeed, effort is noble, but strain is bondage. There is a vast difference between inspired action and frantic hustle. Inspired action arises from intuition, from guidance, from the effortless prompting of spirit. Hustle arises from fear, the fear of not enough, the fear of being left behind, the fear of failure. Listen closely. Anything born of fear cannot produce lasting abundance. For abundance is not fear's child, it is faith's. Consider again the river. The one who swims with the current still moves their arms, still engages the body. Yet their effort is light, guided by flow. So too with you. The Spirit does not call you to idleness, but to inspired rhythm. You are not to abandon action, but to act in harmony. Say with me now, I reject hustle, I embrace flow. I release strain, I welcome ease. I no longer swim against the current, I glide upon the river of divine supply. Pause, breathe, feel the truth of this washing over you like gentle water. Another story. A young woman built her career believing that busyness equaled worth. She filled her calendar with tasks, meetings, deadlines, and commitments, yet her income remained stagnant, her joy diminished, and her creativity dulled. When she finally paused long enough to listen, she realized she was not creating from inspiration, but from obligation. She shifted her rhythm. Instead of saying yes to every demand, she said yes only to what resonated with her inner witness. Instead of hustling for crumbs, she positioned herself for the banquet. Within a year, she found herself doing less, earning more, and living fully. This is the paradox of flow. The less you force, the more life provides. The less you grasp, the more abundance reaches you. Beloved, hustle is a chain forged by the lie of scarcity. It whispers, there is not enough, so you must struggle harder than the rest. Harmony is the song of truth. All that is mine by divine right flows to me with ease. I do not compete, I align. Let us affirm together slowly, allowing the rhythm to sink deep. I am not a slave to hustle. I am a child of harmony. The river of abundance carries me effortlessly to my good. Every action I take is guided, inspired, and fruitful. I prosper more and more as I rest in divine rhythm. I am done with striving. I live in flow. Now imagine your own life as a dance. Hustle stomps, strains, and collapses. Flow sways, glides, and celebrates. Which dance will you choose? When you align with flow, you will notice synchronicities, opportunities arising without struggle, solutions appearing without worry doors, opening without forcing them down. This is the evidence of divine order at work. The law of demonstration does not require sweat upon the brow. It requires faith upon the lips and peace within the heart. You shall accomplish far more in harmony than you ever could in hustle. Beloved, the universe is not a battlefield, it is a symphony. You are not called to fight every note, but to find your place within the melody. When you do, you discover that prosperity was never something to be earned by exhaustion. It was always the birthright to be received in grace. I release the lie of hustle. I embrace the law of flow. I trust divine timing, divine rhythm, divine ease. I no longer strive for what is already mine. I move with spirit, and in moving, I prosper. And so it is. Beloved one, we have walked together through the law of divine agreement, and we have learned the futility of hustle against the river of life. Now we arrive at a most practical and powerful key, the cleansing of the tongue. For every word spoken is a command to the unseen. The lips are the brush, the air is the canvas, and reality is painted by the sound that flows forth. Yet many unknowingly paint their lives with colors of lack-speaking scarcity into being day after day. Listen closely to the phrases so often spoken without thought. I can barely make it. We just got by this month. I can't afford that. Money doesn't grow on trees. That's too much for me. Each phrase is a weed planted in the garden of the subconscious. Each word instructs the soil of the heart to produce more lack, more limitation, more chains. And the soil, being faithful, produces according to the seed. Would a wise gardener scatter weeds across their garden, then wonder why no flowers bloom? Of course not. Yet with our tongues, many scatter weeds daily, then cry out in despair when scarcity rises in their fields. But behold, there is another way. Just as weeds can be uprooted, so can the tongue be retrained. Every phrase of scarcity can be replaced with a phrase of abundance. Where one once said, "I can't afford it," one may now say, "I choose not to invest in that at this time, knowing greater supply is mine." Where one once whispered, "Just enough to get by," one may declare, "I always have more than enough. My cup overflows." Do you feel the difference? One shrinks, one expands. One closes doors, the other opens gates. Let me share with you a story. A woman came to me troubled, for though she worked hard, she found her money always slipping through her fingers. When she spoke, I listened carefully, not to her problems, but to her words. In 10 minutes, she said, "I'm broke. I can't afford that. Things never work out for me. Money is always tight." She had decreed her reality again and again, and the universe, being faithful, obeyed. I asked her to try an experiment. For 30 days, she was to banish phrases of lack from her lips and replace them with phrases of plenty. I always have enough. Money comes easily. Things are always working out for me. At first it felt false. Her lips trembled, her heart doubted. Yet she persevered. By the end of the month, an unexpected check arrived, followed by a promotion at work. Her tongue had turned the tide. Beloved, do not underestimate the tongue. Scripture tells us life and death are in the power of the tongue. Do you see the tongue is the rudder of the ship of life? Though small, it directs the whole vessel. If your tongue decrees lack, you steer into lack. If your tongue decrees abundance, you steer into abundance. Let us practice now call and response style. I shall speak the scarcity phrase, and you shall answer with the abundance decree. I say, "I can't afford it." You say, "All that I need comes easily to me." I say, "I barely made it this month." You say, "I always have more than enough." I say, "Money is so hard to get." You say, "Money flows to me in rivers of ease." I say, "Things never work out for me." You say, "Everything is always working out for my good." Pause, breathe, feel the shift. Your tongue has been cleansed. Now you may ask, but what if others around me speak scarcity? What if my family, my friends, my colleagues always complain of lack? Then you must guard your heart. You cannot always silence their words, but you can choose whether to agree with them. When they say money is scarce, silently affirm within, money is plentiful in my life. When they cry, we can't afford that, smile inwardly and declare, I live in overflowing supply. You are not bound by the decrees of others. You are bound only by the decrees you agree with. Another story. A man once told me, every time I say something positive about money, my friends mock me. They say I'm lying. I asked him, would you rather agree with them and stay bound, or agree with divine law and be free? He chose freedom. Within months, his friends began to notice his rising prosperity, and one by one, they asked him to teach them his secret. Beloved, your speech is contagious. When you cleanse your tongue, you do not only shift your life, you shift the atmosphere around you. Your words become seeds of abundance, not just in your garden, but in the gardens of all who hear you. Let us make this vow together. I release all phrases of lack from my lips. I no longer decree scarcity, for it has no power over me. I plant only words of wealth, joy, and sufficiency. My tongue is the brush that paints abundance into form. And so it is. Pause. Let it settle deep. Hear me now, there is no neutral speech. Every word either builds or destroys, plants weeds or plants flowers. The universe hears and responds to all. Therefore speak only that which you desire to see. I always have more than enough. Money flows easily and joyfully to me. My words create wealth, and I speak wisely. Every phrase I speak is a seed of abundance. My tongue is cleansed, my garden is fruitful, my life is overflowing, and so it is. Beloved one, let us now step deeper into the mystery of wealth, for abundance has a nature, and that nature is flow. Money is not a statue fixed and immovable. It is not a rock that sits idly upon the earth. It is like water, moving, circulating, refreshing, nourishing all it touches. Money, like the river, must flow. When it flows, it blesses. When it is hoarded and dammed, it stagnates and stinks. Have you ever seen a pond with no outlet, no circulation? At first, it may seem full, but over time, the water grows stale green with algae unfit to drink. Compare this to the rushing stream that tumbles over stones, fresh, clean, always renewed. The difference is movement. One is hoarded, the other circulates. So it is with wealth. Many believe that prosperity comes from clinging tightly, from hoarding every coin, from locking every door of generosity. But Spirit reveals the opposite. Prosperity lives in circulation. To give is to keep the river alive. To spend joyfully is to let the waters move. To release with faith is to make space for the greater return. There was once a man who lived in fear of poverty. Every coin he earned, he locked away. He bought nothing beyond necessity, gave nothing to others, lived as if each day were a famine. Outwardly, he had money saved. Inwardly, he was poor, his spirit withered. The money he clung to did not multiply, it simply stagnated. Eventually, his fear drove him into illness, and what he hoarded was spent on recovery. His pond had become a swamp, but there was also a woman. She lived with a heart of circulation. Whenever money came, she blessed it, used some, gave some, shared some, and released it into the flow of life. She was not reckless, but she trusted the law of return. Soon, money seemed always to find its way back to her multiplied. She lived joyfully, freely, abundantly. Her river never ran dry. Beloved, hear this: hoarding is fear disguised as wisdom. Circulation is faith disguised as generosity. Let us decree together: money is a river, not a pond. I release, I receive, I rejoice. Flow in, flow out, flow back greater. Pause. Feel the rhythm of these words like the gentle pulse of the ocean tide. Another story will help anchor this truth. A businessman once told me, I cannot give. If I part with what little I have, I will lose everything. His grip was tight, his fists closed. I asked him gently, how can anything enter your hand if your hand never opens? He did not understand. But after much struggle, he decided to test the law. With trembling hands, he gave a small gift to a friend in need. Soon after, an unexpected client appeared, bringing him more than he had given. Astonished, he tried again. Each time he circulated, something larger returned. Within a year, his business had expanded, his debts diminished, and his joy overflowed. He learned that the hand that opens to give is the same hand that opens to receive. Beloved soul, generosity is not loss, it is multiplication. Just as the farmer does not mourn the scattering of seed, for he knows it will return as harvest, so must you not mourn the circulation of money. What goes out with blessing returns pressed down, shaken together, and running over. Let us affirm, I give joyfully, knowing it returns abundantly. I spend peacefully knowing circulation keeps my river fresh. I am never diminished by giving. I am always increased. Pause here. Breathe in abundance. Exhale, release. Some ask, but what of saving? Should I never keep money? Saving is wisdom, but hoarding is fear. The difference is the heart. Saving is storing seed for the right season. Hoarding is burying seed so deep it never sees the sun. One produces, the other withers. You may save with joy, blessing your store as part of circulation, knowing it shall be used in divine timing. But never clutch with fear. For fear dries the riverbed while faith keeps it flowing. I recall another story. A widow lived with little. Yet every time she received, she set aside a portion to give, no matter how small. Her friends mocked her. Why give when you have so little? But she understood circulation. Over the years, doors opened for her that no one could explain: support opportunities, unexpected income. She never knew lack, for her river never stopped flowing. Beloved, money is energy. Energy must move. When you circulate, you declare, I live in infinite supply. I am not afraid of lack, for I dwell in the river of abundance. Repeat with me now, rhythmically, letting the cadence build. Flow in, flow, outflow back, greater. Flow in, flow, outflow back, greater. Flow in, flow, outflow back, greater. Feel the chant vibrating through you, reshaping your relationship with money. Now I must speak of stagnation of thought, for it too is a form of hoarding. When the mind clings to old beliefs, refusing to release them, the flow of new ideas is blocked. As with money, so with thought, release what no longer serves, and circulation will bring fresh inspiration. Release old fears, old doubts, old patterns of lack. Open the windows of your mind and let fresh air circulate. Say aloud, I release old beliefs of scarcity. I welcome new ideas of abundance. My mind is fresh, my spirit renewed, my wealth alive. Beloved one, this is the law. Circulation creates multiplication. Stagnation creates decay. Choose circulation. Now I invite you to seal this truth with action. Perhaps today, bless a bill before you pay it. Speak to it as you go. You return multiplied. Perhaps share a gift, no matter how small, with a joyful heart. Perhaps release an item you no longer need, letting it bless another. Each act of circulation strengthens the river. And when you witness the return, and you will remember to give thanks, for gratitude keeps the waters pure. I am part of the great circulation of life. I give freely, I receive fully. My river of money flows endlessly, and every wave carries greater abundance back to me. And so it is. Beloved one, we have spoken of agreement, of harmony, of cleansing the tongue, and of circulation. Now we must shine light upon a subtle yet powerful obstacle, the hidden fear of abundance. At first, this may sound strange. Fear of abundance, who would fear prosperity? Yet many do, though often unconsciously. For just as some fear not having enough, others fear what might come if they had too much. There are those who shrink at the thought of wealth, whispering in secret, if I am prosperous, others will envy me. If I rise too high, I will be judged. If I have more, people will expect too much from me. If I become wealthy, I may lose friends, or worse, lose myself. Do you see fear hides behind these whispers? Fear tells the cup, do not overflow, for others may not like it. Yet the cup was made to overflow. Its very design is to pour forth, to spill over, to bless beyond itself. Abundance is not a burden, but many treat it as if it were. Wealth is not a curse, but many live as if it were dangerous. Prosperity is not a threat, but many believe it will cost them love, safety, or belonging. Let me tell you a story. A woman I once counseled had a gift for business. Every time she approached success just as wealth was about to multiply, she would sabotage it. She would miss deadlines, make poor choices, or walk away from opportunities. In prayer, she admitted the truth: "I'm afraid. If I succeed, my family will resent me. They will think I believe I am better than them. I would rather fail and be loved than succeed and be alone." Her words broke my heart, yet revealed a great truth. She had yoked abundance with loneliness in her subconscious. Until that bond was broken, she could not rise. So we worked together to reframe her belief. I reminded her that true abundance never isolates, it expands love. Prosperity does not take her from her family. It allows her to bless them. Wealth does not strip away love. It increases her ability to give love. Slowly, she began to see abundance not as a threat, but as a tool of blessing. With that shift, her business blossomed and her family rejoiced in her success. Beloved, abundance is never selfish. It is selfishness that is selfish. Wealth in the hands of love is stewardship, not sin. Prosperity in the heart of truth is a blessing, not a burden. Another story. A man inherited great wealth but lived in torment, afraid of judgment. "If I enjoy this, people will call me greedy. If I give too much, they will say I am showy. Whatever I do, I will be condemned." So he lived small, hiding his abundance, never free. Only when he understood that his life was a gift and that no man's opinion could alter divine truth did he finally breathe. He began to give boldly, to live joyfully, and at last to feel peace. Hear me. Fear of abundance is fear of responsibility. Yet responsibility is not a chain, it is a crown. To whom much is given, much is required, but that requirement is not punishment. It is honor. It is the privilege of stewardship. Say with me now, I am not afraid of wealth. I am not afraid of overflow. I was created to carry abundance, and I am faithful in stewardship. Pause. Let the words embrace you gently. Now consider the metaphor of the overflowing cup. Imagine holding a vessel beneath a fountain. At first it fills, then it brims, then it overflows. Does the cup cry out in fear? "Oh no, too much." No, for the overflow is its purpose. The overflow blesses the table, nourishes the ground, refreshes the thirsty. The cup does not apologize for being full. It fulfills its destiny. So it is with you. You are designed for overflow. Your wealth is not merely for you, but for those who shall be blessed by your generosity, inspired by your example, uplifted by your presence. Your overflow is a ministry. Beloved, when you fear abundance, you fear yourself. For abundance is not foreign, it is your natural state. Scarcity is the lie. Overflow is the truth. Say this aloud. I am safe in abundance. I am secure in prosperity. I am free in overflow. I fear nothing, for abundance is my divine design. Let us dismantle another fear, the fear of change. Some resist wealth because they fear what will change in their lives. But hear me, change is the very breath of life. Without change, there is no growth, no expansion, no newness. To fear change is to fear living. Embrace it, for every shift carries you closer to your true self. I will tell you this, beloved. The greatest fear is often not of failure, but of success. For success shines a light, and many tremble before the light of their own greatness. Yet Spirit whispers, do not fear. You were made for this light. Speak them with strength, for fear flees before conviction. I am not afraid to prosper. I rise boldly, knowing my abundance blesses others. I overflow with wealth, and my overflow is good. I am a faithful steward of divine riches. I am free from the fear of abundance. Wealth is my safe and natural state. And so it is. Just as the body is strengthened by exercise, so the spirit is strengthened by decree. Just as a plant flourishes when watered each morning, so your prosperity flourishes when nourished with the spoken word. One decree spoken once is like rain that falls a single day. It refreshes, yes, but it does not sustain. But decree spoken daily is like a river that flows steadily, keeping the soil alive, the roots strong, and the harvest abundant. Morning and evening are sacred thresholds. In the morning, the world awakens, the subconscious is fresh, and the soil of the mind is soft, ready to receive. In the evening, as the conscious mind rests, the subconscious remains awake, tending the seeds you plant before sleep. These two moments are the gateways of creation. Let me offer you an image. A farmer does not water his field once and walk away forever. He tends daily faithfully, even when nothing yet appears above the soil. He knows that each drop strengthens the unseen roots. In time, what was hidden bursts forth. So too must you tend your field with daily decree. Here is how you may practice. Upon waking before reaching for phone or task pause, breathe deeply. Speak aloud today. Divine abundance flows to me. I am supplied, supported, and prospered in all things. Throughout the day, whenever doubt whispers answer with decree, I walk in wealth. My supply is secure. Nothing can withhold my good. And before sleep, lay your head in peace, declaring through the night, my prosperity grows. While I rest, divine order works for me. I awake richer in every way. Do not rush these words. Speak them slowly, rhythmically, like drops of water falling upon thirsty soil. The power is not in speed, but in consistency. One woman who practiced this came to me months later radiant. She said, "At first it felt like ritual only, but after weeks, something shifted. I no longer spoke to convince myself, I spoke because I knew it was true. The decrees became my reality." She discovered the power of sealing wealth by daily decree. Beloved, decree is not begging. It is not pleading with the universe. It is commanding with authority that which is already yours by divine right. The daily decree does not persuade God, it persuades you. It does not awaken supply, it awakens your agreement with supply. Say with me now, my daily decree waters my garden. My words root deep and rise strong. I am faithful in declaration, and my harvest is sure. Pause, breathe, feel your inner soil drinking these waters. Now let us practice a cycle of morning decrees together. Speak them as if sealing them upon your day. Today wealth flows to me easily and joyfully. I walk in divine favor. Every step is prosperous. I am open, receptive, and ready for miracles of supply. And for the evening, let us practice, I release this day with gratitude. I rest in abundance. Through the night, angels of supply minister to me. I rise tomorrow richer in wisdom, wealth, and joy. Do you feel the peace? This is the power of sealing. Beloved, remember this truth. Daily decree is not a duty, it is a delight. It is not a burden, it is a blessing. It is the steady heartbeat of prosperity. When lips and heart join, daily wealth cannot be withheld. By my daily decree, I anchor abundance in my life. Morning and evening I speak, and it is done. My wealth is watered, my prosperity grows, my overflow is assured. And so it is, and so it is. Beloved listener, let us begin this holy practice of commanding wealth with the dawn. For the morning is not merely the rising of the sun, it is the rising of your word, your decree, your intention that shapes the entire day. Imagine now that you are standing before the horizon. The first light of the sun is not far away. The air is cool, still holding a sacred hush. You take a deep breath, and with it, you know today is not given to chance. Today is sculpted by decree. The wise know the morning carries the seed of dominion. What you speak at sunrise grows like roots through your day, flowering into form. And so we rise not as beggars, not as wanderers, but as commanders of wealth, stewards of abundance, kings, and queens of divine overflow. Breathe in deeply, breathe out slowly, allow the body to become still. Now listen and repeat within yourself or aloud. These are your morning wealth declarations. I rise with wealth. I rise with light. I rise with power. The sun rises with me, and I rise with the sun. Every cell of my body hums with prosperity. Every thought of my mind magnetizes abundance. Every step I take today is a step on golden ground. I am wealth in motion. I am abundance embodied. I am divine supply walking the earth. Pause. Breathe. Let the words sink into your bloodstream like sunlight seeping into the soil. Picture now the rays of dawn striking the face of the world. They do not ask permission. They do not plead. They shine. They flood. They cover the earth with light. So too wealth flows through you not as a trickle, not as a drip, but as an unstoppable sunrise. Say with me, wealth floods my life as the sun floods the sky. Overflow pours into me and through me. I am a magnet for divine opportunities. I am a channel for limitless supply. Pause. Place your hand upon your chest. Feel your heart beating the drum of divine wealth within. Each beat is a decree. I live in overflow. I live in overflow. I live in overflow. Now imagine walking into your day. You see doors before you close locked, impossible to enter. Yet as you speak, the locks dissolve, the doors fling wide. Opportunities are not hidden from you. They are commanded by you. Say with me, I decree open doors. I decree unexpected favor. I decree divine right connections. I decree wealth that cannot be delayed. Pause again. Close your eyes. See yourself walking through those doors with confidence. See the rooms filled with gold, the tables with contracts, the conversations with people who are ready to bless and invest. And hear this truth. It is not future, it is now. There is a rhythm to the morning, and so we set it with rhythm of speech. Repeat boldly with breath like waves crashing on the shore. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. I am wealthy. Wealth is mine now. Wealth is mine now. Wealth is mine now. I command overflow. I command overflow. I command overflow. Let each cycle of repetition strike deeper, etching the words into your spirit. Now a brief pause. Place yourself in silence. Feel the stillness. Notice how different your body feels from the moment you began. Stronger, clearer, more alive. This is the effect of command. This is the power of spoken wealth. And so, beloved, when you wake tomorrow, do not stumble into the day in silence. Rise as the sun rises. Speak as the dawn speaks. Shine as the rays shine. Your decree is not a whisper to heaven, it is a command to the universe. And the universe, as Florence Scovel Shinn reminds us, has no choice but to obey. Say this final decree with all boldness 3 times. I rise with wealth. I rise with wealth. I rise with wealth. And so it is. If you will begin tomorrow morning with this decree, write in the comments now, I rise with wealth. Declare it publicly so the word takes on even greater life. Close your eyes. Imagine yourself beneath a sky embroidered with stars. The moon is a silver lantern pouring a soft light upon you. All is quiet, save for the whisper of the wind and the pulse of your own breath. This is not ordinary night. It is the womb of creation. Before sleep, we cleanse the mind of fear, worry, or delay. We cancel every decree of lack, every shadow of doubt, every fear of tomorrow. For the night must not carry yesterday's burdens. The night is a holy ground for new planting. Breathe in deeply, exhale fully. Now repeat softly, as if whispering into the dark, I release fear. I release delay. I release doubt. No shadow can follow me into sleep. No worry may trespass into my rest. No lack can linger in my dreams. Pause. Breathe. Let it sink in. Now imagine that the stars above you are not cold lights, but golden seeds. Each one drops gently like blessings into the soil of your subconscious. As they fall, you whisper, I receive wealth in my dreams. I receive answers in the night. I receive prosperity while I sleep. Every hour of rest multiplies my wealth. Every dream waters the garden of abundance. Every breath I take in sleep fills me with prosperity. Pause. Allow these words to echo. Let the stars scatter golden light across your inner sky. You may notice that night often tempts the mind toward regret review or restless planning. But you are no longer a servant to anxious thought. You are a master of decree. You speak, and even your sleep obeys. Say this with me now with quiet authority. My mind is cleansed. My body is calm. My wealth is secure. I am kept in peace. I am kept in supply. I am kept in divine overflow. The night is my ally. The night is my treasure chest. The night is my secret vault where prosperity multiplies unseen. Imagine now a gentle river of light flowing through your room. Every corner fills with this glow. Every wall, every ceiling, every floor absorbs the decree of wealth. Your bed is not merely a place of rest, it is a golden throne. As you lie upon it, you are surrounded by abundance. Whisper these words like a lullaby. I sleep in wealth. I rest in wealth. I dream in wealth. And wealth rises with me in the morning. The wise say what you go to bed with you rise with. So tonight you choose to carry no fear, no lack, no limitation into your rest. You choose only overflow, only supply, only peace. Say it now slowly 3 times as if sealing it with sacred wax. Wealth rests with me tonight. Wealth rests with me tonight. Wealth rests with me tonight. Pause. Silence. Let the decree settle in the depths of your being. Now let us plant final seeds before sleep. Speak them gently as though whispering into the ear of your subconscious. I am always provided for. I am always supported. I am always guided. I attract opportunities with ease. I attract wealth without strain. I attract abundance while I dream. All is well. All is abundant. All is mine now. Beloved, this practice is not just for tonight. It is for every night. Make the stars your allies, the moon, your witness, the night, your secret treasury. For as Florence Scovel Shinn wrote, the subconscious mind is the film upon which the picture is impressed. Impress it with wealth, and wealth must unfold. So when you lie down tonight, do not merely close your eyes, close the door to fear. Do not merely fall asleep, fall into wealth. Do not merely dream, command your dreams. Whisper once more, with all the softness of surrender, I sleep in wealth. I rest in wealth. I rise in wealth. And so it is. Close your eyes. Imagine now that you are standing upon a great stage. The world is the audience. Every angel, every unseen force, every opportunity is watching, waiting for your word. And you are not small, not timid. You are the conductor of a divine orchestra. Your decree is the baton. and as you lift it, the entire symphony responds. But before you speak, you must stand. Stand as wealth stands. Stand as abundance stands. Stand as royalty stands. So rise if you can. Let your feet find the ground. Place them shoulder-width apart, firm, steady, rooted like an oak tree. Let your spine stretch tall, each vertebra lifting upward, as if a golden thread is pulling the crown of your head toward heaven. Pause. Breathe. Feel the difference already, the posture of command, not collapse. Now the breath. Breathe in through the nose, long, slow, deep. Feel the chest expand the ribs, widen the belly, soften with life. Hold the breath for a sacred moment. Now exhale through the mouth, releasing all constriction, all tightness, all shadows of smallness. Again. Inhale, abundance. Exhale, lack. Inhale, overflow. Exhale, limitation. Inhale, supply. Exhale, survival. Repeat this cycle 3 times, letting the body remember every breath is wealth, every breath is supply, every breath is life itself. Now the voice. The decree cannot be mumbled or whispered in defeat. It must be spoken in tone. And tone is not volume, it is vibration. Speak with a tone that vibrates from your chest, from your belly, from the root of your being. Say it now with me, not as a question, not as a hope, but as a command. I am wealthy. Say it again, louder, fuller, stronger. I am wealthy. Once more, with all the force of heaven moving through you, I am wealthy. Pause. Feel the echo in your bones. Notice how the sound vibrates not just in the room, but in your cells. The decree must pass through the 3 centers of being: posture, breath, tone. Posture, stand tall, grounded, unshakable. Breath draw, in overflow, release, survival. Tone, speak with the resonance of command. This is not merely repetition, it is embodiment. Now let us move into a guided cycle of embodied decrees. Stand, breathe, and speak with me. Feet grounded, spine tall, hands open at your sides. Inhale, exhale. Now declare, I stand as wealth. Breathe in again, exhale. Declare, I breathe as wealth. One more time, inhale, exhale. Declare, I speak as wealth. Imagine now that your words are not only sound, but color, light, vibration. As you speak, golden waves radiate outward, filling the room, painting the walls, touching everything in reach. The more you decree, the more the atmosphere bends. Say it with me. My words create atmosphere. My breath carries wealth. My posture commands abundance. Pause. Breathe. Stand tall. Let the truth settle in. Do you see the shift? A person who mumbles, I am rich, with slouched shoulders and shallow breath, cannot move mountains. But a person who speaks, I am wealth, with lifted spine, full lungs, and commanding tone, cannot be ignored. The decree is not in the word alone, the decree is in the embodiment. Remember the conductor. The orchestra does not play at random. They respond to the baton. So too does the universe respond to the way you stand, breathe, and speak. You are always conducting. The question is, are you conducting wealth or are you conducting lack? Let us close this practice with a final triad of embodied decrees. Stand tall. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Now say with full voice, I am the conductor of wealth. I am the embodiment of overflow. I am the living decree of abundance. Repeat 3 times with strength, with posture, with breath, with tone. And when you are finished, stand in silence for a moment. Notice the authority that now fills you. Notice the shift in atmosphere. Notice the certainty that cannot be shaken. This is the secret, beloved. The decree is not just spoken, it is embodied. And when the decree is embodied, the universe must obey. And so it is. Imagine walking into a room where every wall has absorbed affirmations of prosperity, where the air itself seems charged with abundance, where you feel lifted the moment you cross the threshold. This is not fantasy. It is what happens when you decree into your space. Say it now. My walls echo wealth. My rooms radiate abundance. My atmosphere sings with prosperity. Pause. Look around the room you are in. See it as more than furniture, more than paint, more than walls. See it as a living canvas waiting to be written upon. Now, beloved, I will show you how to infuse your space. Step 1. Walk through your room as a commander. Do not drift, do not shuffle walk with the authority of one who owns the ground they stand on. As you walk, speak boldly. This is the house of wealth. This is the office of overflow. This is the atmosphere of prosperity. Say it once for every wall. Let the space absorb the decree. Step 2. Use your tone. Speak into corners, speak into closets, speak into hidden places. For the decree must fill even the silent spaces. Stand in the center and declare every corner of this room holds wealth. Every shadow carries light. Every inch of this space is prosperity's throne. Step 3. See it. Visualization is the paintbrush. As you decree, imagine golden light streaming from your words, painting the walls, covering the ceilings, soaking into the floor. See your furniture glowing with wealth, your desk vibrating with opportunities, your door opening to favor. Say with me now. This room breathes abundance. This desk multiplies prosperity. This doorway welcomes divine supply. Pause, breathe, see it, feel it, know it. Beloved, when you do this daily, your space begins to change. It is no longer neutral, it becomes a magnet. Just as certain places carry heaviness, your room will carry wealth. Visitors will feel it without knowing why. Business calls will shift in tone. Ideas will come easier. Clients will say yes. Let me tell you a story. There was a woman who ran a small shop. Sales were slow, customers few, and fear often filled the air. One day, she began the practice of atmosphere decree. Every morning, before unlocking the door, she walked the shop and declared, "This shop is wealth. Every product is blessed. Every customer is divine appointment." She spoke into the walls, the shelves, the counter, the very air. Within weeks, sales increased. Customers came not only to buy, but to linger, saying, "There's something different about this place. I just feel good here." Her decree had trained the atmosphere, and the atmosphere in turn trained her business into overflow. So I ask you, what is your space speaking? Is it whispering lack or singing prosperity? If walls could talk, what story would they tell of you? From this day, let your walls tell the story of abundance. Say with me now, my atmosphere is my ally. My walls repeat my decree. My space multiplies my wealth. Let us move into practice. Look around your space right now. Pick one wall, stand before it, place your hand upon it. Say these words with me. You are blessed. You are abundant. You are the wall of overflow. Now turn to another wall. Speak again. You are blessed. You are abundant. You are the wall of overflow. Do this for every wall, every corner, every doorway. With each decree, feel the atmosphere shifting, strengthening, glowing. Now, let us raise the volume. Sometimes the decree must be gentle like a whisper to the night, but sometimes it must be thunder. Right now, I want you to lift your voice, not in strain, but in strength, and declare boldly, this space is wealthy, this space is abundant, this space is holy ground for prosperity. Let it echo, let it vibrate, let the sound leave an imprint. Pause, breathe. Notice the change in the air. Beloved, atmosphere is cumulative. Every decree you make builds upon the last. Every word spoken adds a layer like paint upon paint. Soon the space is saturated, dripping with wealth energy impossible to ignore. And when doubt tries to enter, when fear tries to sneak in, the walls themselves will resist. Your space will defend you, echoing the decree louder than the lie. Say it now. My atmosphere defends my wealth. My walls protect my abundance. My space is filled with light. Here is your practice, simple but profound. Every morning before you begin the day, walk your space and decree. Every evening before you rest, bless your space once more. With this rhythm, you are no longer living in a house, you are living in a wealth temple. Now, let's do a sacred repetition. Say it 3 times with me as if sealing the atmosphere. Wealth lives here. Wealth lives here. Wealth lives here. And so it is. If you feel the atmosphere shifting even now, comment below 1 if you will decree into your home. 2 if you will decree into your office. Imagine now 2 kitchens. In the first, the shelves are bare, the cupboards echo, the people eat in silence with heads bowed, rationing every crumb. This is the kitchen of survival. In the second, the table groans with food, laughter fills the air, children reach without fear, and there is always more than enough. This is the banquet of overflow. Which kitchen is yours? Which table will you choose? Beloved, lack may have been familiar, but it was never divine law. The law of heaven is not rationing. The law of heaven is overflow. Say it with me. My cup runneth over. My table is always full. My storehouse never runs dry. Pause, breathe, feel the shift. Survival says I must hold tightly. Overflow says I release, for there is always more. Survival says I hope to make it through. Overflow says I thrive, I expand, I multiply. Survival says I am small. Overflow says I am a vessel of limitless supply. Which voice will you believe? Which law will you honor? Let us decree together with rhythm, with breath, with certainty. I release survival. I release struggle. I release scraping by. I receive overflow. I receive abundance. I receive divine supply. Beloved, when you step into overflow, you no longer ask, will there be enough? You declare, there is always more than enough. The shift is not only financial, it is mental, emotional, spiritual. You stop clutching scraps and begin commanding feasts. Imagine yourself now at the overflowing banquet table. See dishes of every kind, silver cups, filled to the brim, baskets of bread that multiply as they are passed. See the laughter, the freedom, the joy, and hear this truth. This table is yours. Say with me now, I sit at the banquet of overflow. I eat without fear. I drink without limit. I live in the feast of abundance. Pause, breathe, taste it, receive it. The scriptures declare, my cup runneth over. Not half full, not nearly empty, overflow. This is the divine pattern. This is the law of demonstration. Repeat boldly, my cup runs over. My cup runs over. My cup runs over. Now let us speak to the memory of survival that still lingers in the body. Some of you know the hunger of not enough, the ache of waiting for provision, the fear of bills unpaid. But tonight, we cancel every decree of survival. We erase every memory of lack. We rise into a new identity, commander of overflow. Say it now, I am no longer surviving. I am thriving. I am no longer scraping. I am soaring. I am no longer waiting. I am overflowing. Beloved, do you feel it? The shift is not in the outer bank account. First, it is in the inner decree. When the word changes, the world changes. When the posture changes, the provision follows. When the decree shifts from survival to overflow, the universe reorders itself to obey. Stand tall, breathe deeply, speak with tone, no more survival. I live in overflow. I live in overflow. I live in overflow, and so it is. Close your eyes. Imagine before you a great hall, vast and glowing with golden light. The floor is polished like a mirror, the walls glitter with jewels, the air vibrates with sacred music. You walk forward slowly, clothed in radiant garments of light. At the end of the hall stands a throne, not of power for domination, but of power for stewardship. Upon it rests a golden crown shining with fire and glory. As you approach, angels bow. Opportunities kneel. Wealth itself rises to honor you. For this is your coronation, the sealing of your new identity. Pause. Breathe. Feel the gravity of the moment. Now kneel in your spirit. Hear the decree spoken over you. You are chosen as the master of wealth. You are anointed as the commander of overflow. You are crowned as the steward of divine supply. Feel now the crown being lifted heavy with jewels of wisdom, gold of provision, silver of favor. It is placed gently upon your head. A rush of light pours through you, certainty, authority, dominion. Say it with me. I am crowned with wealth. I am crowned with abundance. I am crowned with overflow. The vault doors of heaven open before you. Massive gates once closed now swing wide. Behind them are treasures beyond measure, contracts, connections, opportunities, inventions, rivers of provision. And the voice declares, all this is yours, not to hoard, but to steward. Not to fear, but to command. Not to beg for, but to walk in. Say it boldly now. The vaults of heaven are open. The treasures of heaven are mine. I walk in divine supply. Pause, breathe, let it sink in. Beloved, with crown upon your head, you are no longer asking for wealth, you are embodying it. You are no longer chasing abundance, you are commanding it. Wealth is no longer outside of you, it radiates from within you. Say with me slowly, sealing each word, I am the master of wealth. I am the steward of supply. I am the commander of overflow. Now let us repeat the final decrees with rhythm, with strength, with unshakable tone. 3 times each as the sacred seal, I am crowned with wealth. I am crowned with wealth. I am crowned with wealth. My vaults are open. My vaults are open. My vaults are open. I live in overflow. I live in overflow. I live in overflow. Beloved, stand tall. Place your hand upon your heart. Feel the crown upon your head, even if unseen. Walk forward in life, not as one waiting, but as one already enthroned. The coronation is complete. The decree is sealed. You are crowned as master of wealth. You are the living decree of abundance. You are the chosen steward of divine overflow. And so it is.